So in today's video, we're going to find out a couple of things, guys. We're going to find out exactly how does the new Sauvage Elixir smells, how it transitions, if it's worth your time and money. And of course, I'm also going to compare it with previous iterations of this particular fragrance, the original OG 2015 EDT, the Eau de Parfum, and the Parfum. So if you guys want to know everything there is to know about Sauvage, stick around. It's up right now. Welcome back to another video. I'm Max Forti. If you guys love to make a great first impression, you love to smell great, you know this is a great place to be. Today we're going to cover in depth the new Dior Sauvage Elixir 2021 release. I actually have a first impressions on this fragrance. If you guys missed that video, I'm going to pop it up here so you guys can check it out, where I talk about 8 brand new 2021 releases. But today, of course, this is the one we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about also the other iterations. This happens to be the third and fourth, or it's the third flanker and fourth release from the Sauvage collection. You know, we had the original, the OG from 2015, which is an ODT. I have it right here, Eau de Toilette. Then we had in 2018, Eau de Parfum release, which I have it right here. And then in 2019, we had the Parfum release, which I don't currently have a bottle of. And I'm going to tell you guys why in just a second. And of course, everything you need to know about the new one, how it compares, and which one is my favorite. So let's dive into it. We're going to start off with the presentation for the new 2021 release. It actually gives you off a more elegant, sophisticated, almost private brand-esque, vibe about this particular release, from the bottle itself, which is really nicer than the other ones. Of course, magnetic cap, incredible sprayers, which, from Dior happens to be like one of the best sprayers in the game. You have the CD up top here, which is, it stands for Christian Dior. Of course, the CD's at the bottom as well. You do have the batch, which is etched in the bottle itself, which should definitely match your box, which the box here is almost like those, niche kind of quality boxes, which you have a little podium stand where the bottle sits perfectly and then it closes from the top. I showed that to you on the first impressions video, which again, if you guys missed that, go check it out. But it's nothing to it. It's just a cardboard box. Nice presentation, but nothing more to it than it's a nice presentation. It's nothing like a coffin, like from, the Killian fragrances, like a wooden coffin. It's nothing outstandingly nice, but it's nicer than your original, Sauvage previous boxes and casing. Now, the bottle itself, really cool. I love the indentation here in the bottle where Sauvage Elixir Dior, is written. This is said to be a very heavily concentrated juice. And when you first spray this fragrance, the thing that's going to stand out the most is going to be how powerful and bold it's going to be from the get-go. In comparison to the other ones, which will pale in comparison, this is definitely a bolder, more in your face, but at the same time sophisticated and elegant. So you're going to understand why very soon. The new Dior Elixir, available in one size only, the size you're going to see here throughout this video, which is the 60 ml/2 ounce, retails for 155 USD, which now, it starts to dip into niche pricing, which is, for a designer, some people might scratch their head and say, in order to pick this up, it really needs to be great. Now, is it great? Let's find out. Now, if you go to the website, the Dior website itself, where I picked my bottle up, it's going to say that this fragrance is going to be a spicy, fresh, and woody type of a fragrance. I classify this as a woody, spicy scent / amber fougere or fougere amber, because it's going to be heavier, much more bolder than the originals. Almost has an old school powerhouse type of a scent vibe to it. Again, I'm going to describe to you exactly what I get from the scent. From the description itself at the Sauvage website, it describes the fragrance as extraordinarily concentrated. As I said, heavier concentrated than the previous releases. Francois de Machy is the actual nose and perfumer behind this creation. And it concentrates, very powerful notes is what it says here on the website itself, but it only breaks it down into a few notes. Now, if you go to other websites, it's going to give you a lot more notes. Now, what I get from the beginning here, and I'm going to spray it again just to give myself, remind myself of the actual opening. I am wearing this. I have the dried down on skin, but the opening of this fragrance is absolutely amazing, guys. I love this fragrance, by the way, from beginning to end. The whole transition from the introduction to the heart, the transition, and then to the dry down. Of course, there's parts of the fragrance that I enjoy a little bit more, but it was a great journey from beginning to end. Now, the opening here, it's definitely going to have a bit of that sparkly grapefruit that it describes. However, it's not going to linger too long. That sparkliness from the grapefruit is going to go away fast, and then what you're going to be left off with is a great, and when I say great, guys, one of the best lavender combinations I've ever put my nose on, especially from the designer side of things over the past few years. Nothing will compare. I'm telling you, this is really classy. you know, extraordinarily French lavender composition along with spices. We're talking cinnamon, we're talking nutmeg. I definitely get a big cardamom here. So if you like them spicy, you're gonna enjoy this opening here, especially if you're a big lavender / fougere lover. Even though this composition is bold, it's definitely powerful. It borrows elements from old school powerhouse fragrances of the late 70s, 80s. This fragrance also has a really nice modern twist and component to it, which will not make it seem dated. You know, if you have smelled, you know, releases of late, you know, 2019, 2020, 2021, you know, Cartier Pasha Parfum, for example, you're gonna enjoy this if you like those kind of fragrances, or John Varvatos Vintage. But it's definitely going to have a very predominant lavender fragrance / fougere green vibe to the scent. So if you don't like fougeres or extremely powerful fougere type lavenders, you're not going to pretty much love this. But as you get into the heart, a lot of other components will kick in. The cinnamon, the nutmeg, the spices will definitely give the fragrance, especially the cardamom, this really nice woody, spicy vibe to it that I talked about in the beginning, which is very, very compelling and very sophisticated and elegant. Then you're going to get a semi-smoky vibe here, a little bit earthy as well, that is given by the note of vetiver along with the patchouli. The patchouli here is not going to be a cocoa wet patchouli. It's more of a dried patchouli, more earthy, as I said, and the vetiver will give this earthiness, green / smoky facet, which I'm a big sucker for vetiver, so this one here speaks lengths to me. The dry down is actually very nice as well. However, the start will remain the lavender. It's really the strongest point of the fragrance, which will remain from beginning to end. So it's going to be a lavender-esque fougere dry down with some woody, spicy, you know, vibes to it. Now, what I do enjoy here is the sweetness is not overbearing. You get sweetness from amber here. And there's also a creaminess, understated statement from the fragrance given by the note of sandalwood. So I love sandalwood, you know, bases. You know, I love sandalwood dry down, so the sandalwood is definitely here along with the patchouli, the vetiver, and the amber, which gives us a nice, you know, creamy, spicy, and woody dry down facet, which is absolutely out of this world good, guys. I'm telling you, this is a great fragrance. I am very, very, you know, impressed with Dior Sauvage Elixir because it's not more of the same. It's actually giving me elements that I love from fragrances of old that I did enjoy, you know, back in the 90s that I wore, and even early 2000s. I would describe this as mature, elegant, and confident. So you need to be someone who's really confident in wearing these older type scents, more mature. If you like sweet, tonka and Broxton type fragrances, you're not going to enjoy this. And I said this in the first impressions. If you really loved the original and the previous iterations and flankers, most likely you're not going to like this. However, if you weren't too keen with the original, you thought it was especially overplayed, you wanted something a little bit different, more bold, and more, you know, rich and dark, guys, this is your fix. In spite of this fragrance reminding me of other fragrances of old, you know, that I talked about, powerhouse fragrances, it gives me off a vibe of a fragrance that I absolutely love, released in 2019, that I've also reviewed here for you guys, and I'll pop it up here. This is very similar to, like, they could be cousins. There's, of course, nuances here that will make this different. The original DNA from the Sauvage is here, but it's ever so slight and in the background. This fragrance goes into a totally different, you know, facet and spectrum of this fragrance. And it does remind me of Saharov's Signature Homme, which I loved, and I did review for you guys, and you know, back in 2019. I'll pop it up here so you guys can check out that review. So if you're a fan of that fragrance, you're definitely gonna love this one. Now, how does it compare with the other ones? Before I get into, you know, performance and best times to wear Elixir, let me give you a quick, you know, snap it here on how it compares with the other fragrances. So the EDT, I have it here. This is actually an older bottle from 2015 itself. I remember picking it up as soon as it came out at Macy's. So the opening here is great. A lot of people will compare this to almost like an Aventus-esque vibe. The bergamots are beautiful here, you know, along with the pepper. It's spicy, it's fizzy, it's sparkly. Definitely more fruity, of course. Definitely more youthful, more sweet, given the fact that it has a very predominant note of Ambroxan here, which adds that, you know, sweet and spicy kind of a vibe. It is a compliment monster. I mean, Dior Sauvage is as good as it gets. I wonder why it's, you know, top-selling fragrance, one of the top fragrances in the world over the last, you know, 7+ years. And in fact, you know, a couple of days ago, I posted this really cool and funny, you know, podcast from this blonde girl saying that this fragrance is so played out. And if you don't want to smell like her ex, definitely, you know, give this one up and find something better to wear, because this is played out, guys. Dior Sauvage has been around for 7 years, and a lot of people wear this. And if you don't want to, like, you know, if you don't want to smell like everybody else, then I would say stay away from it. It's not bad. I'm not going to say it's a bad scent. Of course, it's a good scent. There's a place and time for it. These days, it's something that I wear more casual for running errands or if I'm going to the gym. It's not something that I tend to wear if I really want to make an impression, just because, like I said, it's been played out. The Eau de Parfum from 2018 is actually one that I did wear quite a lot, as you can see here. And this one here added some more mature elements, which I did favor more as opposed to the 2015 release. You know, elements like cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla. You know, keeping the original DNA, but giving it more depth with those spicier and, of course, the vanilla dry down. It's definitely one that I do enjoy a lot more than the original. And if you still want to stay within that sweet and more playful vibe, you would go with that one. But if you want to go more mature, then, of course, check out Elixir. And, of course, the Parfum, which I don't have it here, it's even darker and deeper. I think there's a note of anise in there, as well as they talk about an anise note in this one here, licorice rather, which I don't really get that licorice, but I guess it adds into the spices and darkness of this scent. But the Parfum, I really thought it was a bit redundant in comparison with the Eau de Parfum. I thought it was just more of the same, a little bit of a gimmicky release, if you will. And it didn't really give me good, you know, lasting power. It was more of a skin scent, so I didn't keep that bottle. I actually gave it away. And of course, my favorite from the previous releases would definitely be the Eau de Parfum. So in comparison with all the different Sauvages, guys, I have to say that I'm really impressed with Sauvage Elixir. I think it's going to be something amazing that I'm going to be looking to wear in the next few months. You know, fall, you know, winter. It's definitely going to be featured in some of my top lists because it has a really classy, elegant, old world goodness, you know, fougères that I come to love. Now, performance beastly on this fragrance. Elixir gave me 10 plus hours. I do spray my clothes on skin itself with 7 plus, which I can't complain. Sillage was above average. You're definitely going to be perceived as you move about. People are going to get whiffs and wafts. And occasions, guys, you know, besides the weather that I talked about, I would say rock this for evening wear or dressier occasions. And I think you can wear this all year round, you know, providing you control the sprayers. But definitely dress your occasions and evening wear. I think this will shine the most. Projects like a beast, guys. 2 to 3 hours projection non-stop, and sillage just incredible. And I definitely would say that Sauvage Elixir is a more masculine fragrance, and I think this is definitely something that you could wear all year round as a signature scent if you'd like. When the weather is warmer, you'd go 2 to 3 sprays. As soon as the weather gets colder, you know, fall and winter, you can go 4 to 5. And again, you're gonna smell amazing. It's gonna project, it's gonna do its thing because performance here, again, beastly. And of course, if you guys want to try this fragrance, guys, I'm going to give you guys a nice giveaway here, courtesy of perfume.com. Of course, you know, you can always try fragrances before you buy them. So if you want to try this fragrance here and thousands of other fragrances, designers, new releases, niche, indie, perfume.com is the way to go. You can use my code MAX15, but I'm going to give 2 lucky winners a 5 ml decant of Dior Elixir. All you have to do, of course, is like this video. Be sure to follow perfume.com on Instagram as well as myself. And of course, be a subscriber to this channel and comment down below which one is your favorite Sauvage from all the Sauvages so far and why you would like to check this one out, guys. So again, I'm going to have all this stuff listed in the description of this video. And of course, the winners will be selected in about a week's time, which I will leave it in the community tab of this channel so you guys can check out if you have one or not. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for the support. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Again, details in the description. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. If you guys are looking forward to it, you guys know it. Do your thing. As always, support the channel. Leave me a like. Subscribe for more. I keep you in the know. That's what we do here. And of course, hit your notification bell so you get these videos straight into your feed. As always, guys, remember, fragrance is an extension of who you are. So choose your fragrances wisely. And always, wear them well. I'll see you right back here. Smells divine, guys. Real soon. Take care.